Gator Canes week. How excited are you coaches, the fans, obviously the players?
No, I think we're excited. I mean, I think we can't barricade ourselves in from all the excitement that is in South Florida right now and that surrounds this game. But it's really important for us to be mature and focused and drawing some of our experience, from last year. So just stay focused on what we can control.
Did you ever see parallels between you and Will in that when you got hired at these respective jobs, neither program was where you would want it to be, and you both had a job to do in front of you that was somewhat similar?
You mean at this job here?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They were coming off national championships in 6 and 8 and didn't have an NCAA thing. I don't think they're parallel at all, to be honest with you. I think they're different jobs. I don't know Will. I have tremendous respect for him as a football coach and as a man and as a teacher. But I don't have a relationship with him. I don't know. A lot of respect for him, respect for the job that he's done there. But again, I don't think you can compare the two, right now.
Like many of the players, obviously it's their first time entrenched in this rivalry. Just talk about that unknown of being one of these guys.
Well, I mean, you just watch them on tape. I mean, that's enough to get your attention. So, I mean, obviously, big physical team, deep speed, really run the ball on defense, excellent special teams. So, I mean, it's really not about anything else for me other than looking at the tape and knowing what a great job they do. They get after the quarterback. They get you in money down situations. They get after you with the pass rush. Make big plays happen on the back end. On offense, they'll pound you. That's been our Achilles heel. I'm sure that's what they're going to do. We got to be able to buckle up and stop it.
I know you discussed this, how dynamic Duke Johnson is.
Randy's doing a great job. He's in better shape than he was a year ago. He's more comfortable with the offense, and he does a number of things for us. So we just got to continue to get him to stay on track with his aim points and his landmarks in terms of the running game, and trust that the big ones will come. I thought we had a great effort on the perimeter for him that helped make some bigger runs. But the biggest play of the night for me is Randy taking 2 guys down in the reverse. Cutting 2 guys down and being very unselfish. And when you have your talented players being hard workers and unselfish players, you have a chance.
Coach, do you have an update on Rashawn?
Just that it doesn't look good for this week. It looks like it's going to be a little bit longer than we want it to be. As soon as we make a definitive determination there, we'll let you know.
Is
it a shoulder?
His collarbone was broken, not a collarbone.
Shoulder.
Coach, the game's going to be a whiteout. Can you just describe the atmosphere that you're looking forward to? Or
the game's going to be what now?
A whiteout.
A whiteout.
Yeah.
I'm sure the atmosphere is going to be good. So, other than that, I'm just coaching. I don't really get too much into that.
Al, I think Florida allowed 50, if I'm not mistaken, 50 yards rushing this past week. Can you talk about that? And
that's what they are. I mean, they're big, physical front seven. They get after you. They're hard to block inside. They control the clock on offense and stop the run on defense. I mean, that's who they are. That's their trademark. So it's going to be a great challenge for us. But that's no fluke. I mean, that's a good team they played last week in Toledo and shut them down cold.
Is this one of those weeks where like former players come out of the woodwork and are texting you about the Gators, beat the Gators? I mean, do you hear from a lot of people already about this?
Not really. I mean, we've just been bunkered in here the last 2 days just trying to get ready. So it's really, again, I know you guys are looking for little stories and sound bites. I'm sorry, I'm a loser. And I didn't.
That's a sound bite.
I've just been upstairs for 2 days, to be honest with you. So we're just getting ready. I mean, again, I share your excitement. I'm sure the students do, and the South Florida community. It's awesome, and we appreciate your coverage. And I don't mean to belittle that. I'm just saying that, for us, we got to focus on what's going on in the middle of the stadium, not what's going on outside.
Coach, the success of this game always, no matter what, will help in recruiting. Just talk about that aspect, obviously. When you guys take on Florida State to the world.
Again, no matter we're not going to be recruiting for 3 hours on Saturday. You know what I mean? I mean, for us, it's we got to play well. We got to coach well. We got to play well. We got to make sure we prepare well every day. And again, all those things will take care of themselves. If we just take care of the little things, and that's the truth. And we just got to make sure we do our job and get our skill in our execution to the game and give great effort.
Al, assuming Rashawn is out this week or out for a while, any chance somebody moves over to receiver? I know you're down to like 6.
Who moves over?
Will anybody be moving over?
No. Damari will step up. Garrett Kidd will give us some work there. And certainly, we carry 4 tight ends, so we'll have enough there.
Okay.
Philip Dorsett seemed like he wasn't quite on the same page with Steven on a couple. I know he's the target on the INT there. What do they need to work on?
I was disappointed. I mean, I was. I think we were all disappointed. Our completion percentage coming into, from right after the second scrimmage right after the first scrimmage through the second scrimmage and coming into the game was really good. And we were crisp, and we weren't putting the ball on the ground, and really was excited about where we were last Monday and Tuesday, and we didn't throw and catch very well. We didn't convert on third down, which killed us on time of possession again. And it's a challenge right now for everybody, the running backs, receivers, tight ends, and quarterback. I think we were 58% in the game, maybe, or 60. Anybody know for sure?
Third
percentage, yeah.
4-14, I think.
Well, that's third down, but overall completion percentage, does anybody know?
I'll say 16-27, so whatever, 60-ish would have been.
So again, not where we want to be, and we got to do a better job throwing and catching. Certainly against this group we're going to play Saturday.
Al, can you talk about the DBs a little bit and what you thought of how Casey Rogers did and Tracy? I don't think he had a lot of numbers, but both of those.
Casey did a great job. He ran the show effectively. I thought he tackled really well. He certainly was the most physical he's ever been for us, and played with a lot of confidence. He really did. Looking back at the tape, I thought I told him that the next morning. I thought he played really well and played with a lot of poise and composure, excuse me. Alonzo did a good job. Rayshawn did a good job. So, we mixed a lot of corners in there. So we got a good look at a lot of guys. But again, they're going to keep battling out. We got some competition there.
Al's getting a running back this week. They're going to get some of their suspended guys back this week.
Yeah.
It's not the same as a week one, but does it have elements of a week one feel in that there's still a lot of guesswork as far as what they're going to have?
Well, there's always going to be wrinkles. I'm sure there's things that they didn't show last week. But again, early in the season, you got to be ready for everything, Tim, and that's the bottom line. Control your variables because you can't control the oppositions. And again, the running back they had last week did a good job. So now they're going to have two of them playing at that level, and of course, Ade does a great job for them. The quarterback, I think, is excellent. Big offensive line that's veteran, big league tight end. So really, really good group on offense. Excellent team.
You mentioned Fall Camp. You had some concern with the depth on your O-line. Just now that you've seen the game, were you pleased with that rotation there, and just with the conditioning and all that?
Our conditioning was good on the O-line. We didn't play. We played really well at times, and there was some other times that we abandoned our technique. And again, I'm speaking in generalities. I don't want to talk about specific players, but the reality is some guys just abandon their technique a little bit, and when you get in a game like that, you got to rely on that. You got to default to that. You don't rise to the level, of play. You fall back on your training, and in some cases we kind of abandoned our technique. So we got to get back to that.
Does that worry you, considering it's going to be a noon game, it's going to be hot, it's going to be the emotions you're going to be running, and there's going to be a lot of stuff going on that guys need to resort back to kind of muscle memory and technique and all that stuff?
It does. To answer your question. It does.
All right. Thanks.
You guys good? All right, guys.